Hello, everybody. My name is Ed. I'm in my armchair, and the smoking lamp is lit. And today, Veterans Day. And guess what I'm smoking on Veterans Day? Of course, my favorite pipe. But this I got while in the Navy, because I am a veteran, in Hong Kong. You've seen it before. It is one of my favorites. It is Beauteous Megamus Maximus. That's right, Reason for this video today, normally I'm on Thursdays, but again, it is Veterans Day. And recently I'd been thinking about a special one, and I've told this story before a couple years ago, but got a lot of new people here. You know what I mean? Welcome. But I'm going to tell you a little story of Veterans Day in Washington, D.C. First, I have a sister who lives in Washington, D.C. Actually went to college there, got a law degree, lived there ever since. But probably 8 or 9 years ago, Obama was the president. I went to visit my sister, and for the first time, this was on Veterans Day. I usually used to visit her about every year or so. And she still works. She's older than me. She edits kind of a section of a couple local Washington, D.C. newspapers. So because of that, she has a press pass. So she gets invited to a lot of things. I've been to openings of art galleries and stuff, before the general public is allowed. So I'm going to be there on Veterans Day. The day before, that evening, we got into a special presentation. It's kind of a medium-sized auditorium by Tom Brokaw, The Greatest Generation. He gave a talk on that. Had a fair amount of people that I've seen in the news. I know Bob Dole was there. And we got in because of her press pass. So that was great. The day before Veterans Day, that night. Next, of course, I visited the Vietnam, the wall, the Vietnam Memorial. And I've been to that many a times. In fact, the first time I went, I don't know if you could say I didn't have the guts, but I didn't. I didn't have the guts to look for any of the people that I knew from my Navy days. The second time I finally did look them up. This was a time, but pretty much every time I visit my sister, I'll just go to there. All right, Tom Brokaw, the wall. And for Veterans Day, we went to Arlington National Cemetery to view the laying of the wreath by the President Obama, and saw the guards at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So impressive. Just impressive. Also, now I know you don't know this, but I am world famous. The viewing, they had a seated area, only about 5 rows of seats. And then a flat place for people to stand. And I was right in the front of that. And across from where the president was where TV cameras were. So they're directly looking at him, and I was in the background. Not that you would ever notice. The only reason I saw myself is because I knew exactly what I was wearing, recognized me, my sister. I knew the whole situation. But we did see that in the national news. World famous. Anyway, such an impressive thing to view. And it's not that many people can see it. They don't have that much room. But they have a bigger amount where he gives a speech afterwards. And you had a choice of either could view the laying of the wreath or the speech. You couldn't go to both. We wanted to view it. I wanted to view it. So that's what we did. Fantastic. The guards watching their routine, then seeing them, the whole ceremony, very impressive. Next, it was a beautiful day, and we went to Mount Vernon, George Washington's estate, a little bit lower on the Potomac River. I'd never been there. So we get there. Again, of course, it was Veterans Day. And we went on a tour of the house, which was really nice. Beautiful setting. After that, now one thing we did know that Bibi Netanyahu was also there. He was in town and he went and saw Mount Vernon. So we, after the tour, we were outside. There's a walkway. And we found out if you go down this, you're going down a little bit of a hill, you will go past the crypt where George Washington and Martha Washington are buried. And of course, we're sightseeing, so the place we wanted to go. What I did not know is there were some people around it, because normally it's just closed, you just walk past. And on Veterans Day, and only Veterans Day, they open up the crypt. So only once a year, they open up the crypt. They have people there, and you, as a veteran, me as a veteran, sign in. And it was kind of funny. Netanyahu had just done the same thing And when they were telling the story of how, this is for veterans, he goes, does it matter what country you're a veteran of? And they said no. So he got to do the same thing. And what it was is they had opened up the crypt so that you couldn't go in, but you can go right up to look in the two coffins in the crypt. And they gave you, each veteran, a rose. So you go in, you could actually stand kind of right at the opening of it, and you lay a ribbon down, a rose down. And I thought that was so incredible. Again, they only open up once a year on Veterans Day, and they let veterans go in, lay a rose down. So I just thought, kind of doing a little reminiscing of my time, Veterans Day in Washington, D.C. Anyway, I hope you like this. Remember, if you don't like this, you can't get to heaven. So may your smoke lamp always be lit. Take care out there.